Every time you drive, thousands of pounds of weight rest on 4 circles of rubber. Those circles grip the road, stop the car, handle heat, carry load, survive potholes, and stay stable at high speed. But almost nobody knows how a tire is actually made. Inside Michelin's massive production lines, raw rubber, chemicals, steel, and fabric transform into some of the most advanced engineered products on Earth. Today, you're going inside that process step by step. Before we start, hit subscribe so you never miss how major industrial systems actually create the things we rely on every day. A tire might look simple, but it's a highly engineered structure with more than 200 ingredients. Everything starts with rubber, both natural and synthetic. Natural rubber comes from rubber tree plantations where latex is collected, thickened, and pressed into blocks. These blocks travel to Michelin's processing facilities, ready to be mixed with chemicals that will change the rubber's strength, stretch, and heat resistance. Synthetic rubber, on the other hand, is made from petroleum-based materials. It provides durability and stability at high temperatures. Michelin blends both types to create the perfect balance for different kinds of tires. All ingredients meet in the mixing department, home to enormous industrial mixers called Banbury mixers. These machines look like giant steel stomachs. They take rubber, carbon black, silica, oils, sulfur, antioxidants, and performance additives, then grind and knead them at high speed. The friction is so intense the rubber reaches more than 150 degrees Celsius inside the mixer. Each batch produces a thick black sheet that looks like taffy but behaves like rubbery clay. Different parts of the tire require different mixtures. Tread rubber is tough and heat-resistant, while sidewall rubber is flexible and resilient. Michelin prepares dozens of compound types for every production run. After mixing, the rubber sheets cool down on large roller mills where they're flattened, folded, and blended until they reach perfect consistency. Workers and sensors check texture, temperature, and uniformity. The better the compound, the longer the tire will last on the road. Once the sheets are ready, machines cut them into strips and send them to the next department. A tire's strength doesn't come from rubber alone. Hidden inside every tire is a complex skeleton made of steel and textile fiber. Steel cords create belts that stabilize the tread area and help the tire stay flat on the road at high speed. These cords arrive on massive rolls. Michelin coats these cords with brass so they bond perfectly with rubber during the curing process. Textile cords, usually made of polyester, nylon, or aramid fibers, form the body plies of the tire. These give the tire flexibility, shock absorption, and stability under load. Steel and textile components move to calendaring machines. A calendar looks like a stack of steel cylinders pressing rubber onto both sides of the cords. The process embeds the cords in rubber sheets, creating layers that combine strength and elasticity. These sheets are wound into giant rolls and labeled for the tire building machines. Next comes bead production. Beads are thick steel rings that hold the tire onto the rim. Each bead consists of several loops of high-tensile steel wire coated in brass and wrapped tightly with rubber. These loops are welded into circular shapes and placed into bead assemblies. They're small but incredibly strong. Without beads, a tire would slip off the wheel the moment the car turned. Now it's time for the heart of tire manufacturing, the building machine. Imagine a robotic cylinder that assembles the tire layer by layer, turning all the materials into a raw, unvulcanized tire known as a green tire. First, the machine places the inner liner, an airtight rubber layer that replaces old-fashioned inner tubes. This liner holds air pressure inside the tire. Next, body plies made from textile cords wrap around the cylinder. Then, bead rings are pressed into place, and the plies fold up around them. This forms the main carcass structure. After the carcass is built, the machine adds steel belt layers around the top. These belts keep the tire stable at high speed and resist punctures. Finally, the tread, the outer rubber that touches the road, is added. Tread rubber comes in thick strips pre-shaped by an extruder. When the machine presses the tread onto the tire, the raw product suddenly looks like a tire, but without the patterns. At this point, the tire is soft and flexible. It cannot be used on a car yet. The final transformation happens in a massive curing press. This press heats the tire to about 170 degrees Celsius while applying tons of pressure. Inside the mold are the patterns that create the tread grooves. When the mold closes, the green tire expands like a balloon using a flexible bladder. The rubber flows into every detail of the mold. Heat and pressure trigger vulcanization, the chemical reaction that gives rubber its strength, elasticity, and durability. This process bonds all layers together permanently. When the mold opens after several minutes, the tire is no longer a collection of layers. It's a single, solid, high-performance product. The tread pattern is sharp. The sidewalls are smooth. Every marking, speed rating, load rating, size is molded into place. The tire emerges hot but complete. But Michelin doesn't trust visual inspection alone. Each tire goes through a rigorous quality control process. First, trained inspectors check the surface for any imperfections. Then, the tire enters a uniformity machine. This device presses the tire against a spinning drum to detect vibrations, stiffness variations, or imbalance. After that, an X-ray machine scans the inside of the tire. The X-ray image reveals details invisible to the human eye: belt alignment, ply positioning, bead seating, and internal structure integrity. If anything is out of place, the tire is rejected instantly. Some tires undergo even more extreme testing. Michelin has rooms where robotic arms push tires to their limits. Machines simulate cornering forces, acceleration, braking, and heat. Other tests run tires until they fail to see how much punishment they can take. This research helps Michelin improve future tire designs and make them last longer. Before the video continues, click subscribe again if you want more deep dives into massive industrial production lines and high-speed manufacturing systems. This channel stays focused fully on the main topic with no unnecessary distractions. Approved tires finally move to the finishing line, where they're painted with lubrication stripes or handling marks. Robots stack them on pallets, and forklifts load them into trucks. From here, the tires travel to warehouses, dealerships, and auto manufacturers. Some will end up on brand new cars. Others will be replacements installed by drivers worldwide. No matter where they go, they carry the same engineering DNA created inside Michelin's factories. The scale of production is enormous. Michelin manufactures millions of tires every year. Their factories run non-stop, producing tires for small cars, SUVs, trucks, and high-performance vehicles. Each tire faces different challenges: heat, speed, weight, terrain, and Michelin designs compounds and structures for each one. Some tires prioritize long lifespan, some maximize grip, others reduce rolling resistance to save fuel. The production line adjusts formulas and construction methods for every type. The next time you see a tire, remember it's not just rubber. It's a carefully engineered product with a chemical backbone, steel skeleton, layered structure, and complex manufacturing path. From latex trees to steel belts to curing molds hotter than an oven, every step is essential. Every piece has a purpose. And that's how car tires are made inside Michelin's massive production line, a full transformation from raw materials to road-ready engineering.